I mean, I did understand what the person meant when they said have some grace. But I don't feel sorry for this guy because I know his problems and his predicament has been caused by himself. Do you know how I know this? Because I know between the age of 25 to 55, I'm assuming he had a healthy body and healthy brain. Because at the age of 70, he's still in healthy, somewhat shape. So usually people's health usually declines. So if he's in all right shape now at 70, don't get it twisted. He ain't doing no fucking Mr. Olympia. He ain't doing no fucking, what do they call it? The Iron Man challenge, where a man does a 10k run, 10k swimming, and a 10k bike ride. He ain't doing that shit. What I'm saying is, I know he was a healthy human being between the age of, sorry for the phone tilts and drops. I know he was a healthy human being between the age of 25 to 55. He had 30 years solid to make something of himself. And I know he fucked about and that. So that's why I don't feel sorry for him. I've said this many times before, I'm going to say it again. I remember I went to one guy's yard, big man, 60 plus years old. And I went to his, it was kind of like a flat, it's a masonette. It's a masonette, so someone lives above someone else. So anyways, one of those when you open up the door and you go straight upstairs and then someone lives underneath. So I've gone in the masonette now, and in the living room there was a setup for, you know, the remote, you know, the chair with the steering wheel, you know, like for video games and that. This guy's 65 years old. I said to him, whose is that? Is that like, well, your nephew or your grandson? He's like, that's mine. Big Ras Clark, 65 plus year old man, still playing video games. And you know what I got from that? After I left the guy's property, I may have thought it right then and there. I'm thinking to myself, see, this guy, if he just done the work, you see this guy, yeah, he is playing video games so that he can drive Ferraris and Lamborghinis and McLarens and Koinenzegs. Yeah, he's driving those cars in the virtual world. You see, if he just done the work from age 25 to 55, if he'd worked for a solid 30 years, and it don't take that long if you know what you do, if he'd just done the work in his youth, he could have been driving those cars for real. Isn't that remarkable? A man is playing video games and driving the cars of his dreams. Yeah? In his video games. But if only he just put in the work throughout his youth. If only he stayed focused and dedicated to the task. Instead of having to play those video games in the virtual world, he could, so instead of driving those cars in the virtual world, he could have drove those cars in the real world. This is why I don't respect men that play video games. Because they would rather level up their character in the virtual world as opposed to the real world. Do you know why? Because in the virtual world, in the video game world, if you fuck up, you just press the reset button and you respawn and you can start again. In the real world, if you fuck up, you may be hurt. You might be at a financial loss. It's going to sting. You may be embarrassed. There's real risks involved. So man will rather go down the path of least resistance. And then they will moan and complain when they're unsuccessful. And then they will have red eye. That's a Jamaican term, where they're basically hating on other people and that, who are successful. So we all have 24 hours in the day. You chose to go down the easy route. You chose to fuck about. You chose to not put in the work. You chose to sit on the phone and chat up a woman for 4 hours, hoping to get close to her and that. Wasting your goddamn time. So that's why I have no grace. I don't feel sorry for these people, because they had opportunities and they decided not to take them. Because in the original video, I was saying that, when I met that guy, I had one property, maybe two, max. I've gone and bucked him 4 years later. I'm sitting on 6 properties. He's still in the same masonette. This is the first guy, because both guys, the one with the steering wheel, he was in a masonette. And then the original guy, he's in a masonette as well. I bucked him 4 years later. I've bought 4 more properties. He's still in the same position. This guy is double my age. What the fuck have you been doing? But I know what he's been doing. He's been fucking about. That's a rhetorical question. So that's why I don't feel sorry for these people. You can make excuses and say, God hasn't created people with the same hands or whatever you said. But really and truly, 95% of people walking planet Earth have the same opportunity. Yeah, there's going to be the elite 5% that can just, they're born to millionaire parents or they're born to a wealthy family and that. But for the most part, pretty much everyone is born poor and everyone has the same opportunity. You see, when you've come from the bottom and you've come from nothing and you've made it yourself, you realize it can be done. So then you look at everyone else to your left and right and you think, well, why the hell have you not done it? This is why I've dropped out one of my friends before. Because I realized that, this guy ain't achieved nothing in the last 10 years. We're from the same area. We grew up the same. Why am I sitting on, maybe it was only 5 properties at the time of this conversation. Yeah. But why am I sitting on 5 properties? You're in a council house. This is why I had to drop a man out. Joked him. Because I looked left and looked right and thinking, you're not keeping up with me. Don't get twisted, it's not a race. I'm not expecting a man, because I've got 5, you have to have 5 properties. But you're not trying, blood. I don't want to be around no one that's not trying. Because if they're not trying, then they're probably hating on me. And I don't want no bad energy around me. So I just get rid of people. Get rid of them. You can always find friends. So that's why I have no grace. It's not because I'm some cold-hearted, evil individual and that. It's because I know it can be done. There's certain individuals, that will say, you should retire your mum because your mum came over from a foreign country and that, and she, brought you here to start a better life and that, and she struggled and that. Well, let's say your mum is from a foreign country, and let's say you was born in that foreign country and that. All right, and let's say your mum brought you from that foreign country to England to start afresh. But she then went on, but she was struggling. Do you know why she was struggling? Because she didn't just bring you over. She started having more and more kids while she was here. So now this is self-inflicted. If you were struggling in your home country, say Jamaica, say Poland, say Congo, don't bring your 1 or 2 children over here and you ain't got qualifications and that, and then go on to have more kids. Are you a moron? See, some people are destined to fail because they don't have no plan. They're not smart. They are very, I don't want to say certain words, get a video blocked and banned. But anyway, they're just not smart. That's it. Anyway, that's it for today, man. Stay away. Done.